Hey guys, how's it going today? Welcome back to another episode of the Universim. I hope you guys are having a fantastic day. Man, the game is chugging along. So in this episode, I want to go over some tips and tricks that I think I have kind of gathered and mastered myself, or not have mastered myself. So that way, those of you that have started this game and are unsure of what to do or what the best ways of doing things are. The other thing is that we did build the Cosmodrome in the last episode, so I believe that it would be fitting for us to create a satellite this episode. But to begin with, I wanted to go back and talk about some tips and tricks towards the very beginning of the game. Something that you guys might notice at the start of my series is that I always try to look over where to place my epicenter. I think that positioning your epicenter is critical for how good your early game is. So if we even find my epicenter, I'll try to show you guys kind of the reasons why I placed my epicenter in certain areas. If I can find it, though. I know that we can just hit the home button, but this is slow and sluggish, but it does the trick, I guess. Okay, there we go. So the reason why I placed my epicenter here is, for one, it has some very good resources of water, which is empty now, but that doesn't matter at the start of the game because it's there, so it's fine. And I knew I had basically two sources of water next to me, so already really good starting because of that. The next thing was the woods, so making sure there's a good amount of trees around you. And going on top of that, you also want to look at your expansion. So in this situation, we were able to expand out this way and across. Now, if we had been totally encapsulated by mountains, that would cause our expansions to be a little uncomfortable and awkward for the nuggets. That makes it so that nuggets have to travel a lot further to go to certain buildings that they would almost certainly not have to in other cases. So for instance, if we just look at this mountain range, if this mountain range had gone all the way across, you can imagine that this is basically a lot of space we were not going to be able to build across, and this also meant that our nuggets would have to go either around the mountains or over the mountains. So that's a really important thing to think about building area. The next thing is about stone, and this one I think is actually a little bit less important because at the very start of the game, stone is important, but you can easily get a lot of stone just from various stones laying around in forests. So I wouldn't necessarily prioritize that one. I like to prioritize it because I think that it does speed up the game a little bit, but that's something to think about. So I think that was one of the very first things that came to mind when I thought about doing the tips and tricks. The next thing is, so I had a comment asking about the boxes in the game as well, and I actually don't know if we have any boxes right now. Let me struggle to find the epicenter again. We actually do have a box here. So for those of you that are brand new to the game and don't know much about these boxes, essentially these boxes give you three different things. The first one is guaranteed. It's always the same thing. It's always going to give you one of the legendary buildings pieces. So one of these. You need 4 pieces to be able to create them. And yeah, that's basically it on those pieces. The next thing is going to be, it's going to basically give you kind of like this riddle type deal or hint of what the next thing is. So an acrid fume fills the air around you. That one I'm not even sure of right off the top of my head. It's a lot of trial of error and error. So you kind of have to mess with things. If you don't trust it, then scrap it. It's not always a terrible thing to scrap it. and your nuggets energy drains as they approach the box. That one I know is going to be the draining of creator points. So I'm just going to go ahead and scrap this one. It'll show you guys what exactly happens. If I was to just open it, it would just give us the resources and also the piece that comes along with it. So let's go ahead and scrap it. So basically nothing really happened. It just gave us some iron. That's about it for scrapping. And then I think the next thing that I wanted to kind of talk about is storage, because I think storage is one of those things that is kind of a lot of people have their different opinions on. I know people who have said that placing storage in different locations is a lot better, and I kind of fall on the category of I'm too lazy to really do that. I do have a lot of warehouses just littered all around, and that does help with things, but in the grand scheme of things, it doesn't really matter too much. For instance, one of the reasons why I just place all these warehouses right next to each other is because to me, it doesn't really matter. Majority of the time when you do place warehouses in scattered locations and, one on each side of the city, and then you've got a couple right in the center of the city, yeah, that theoretically does help with distribution and all of that good stuff, but it honestly, you won't really notice that big of a change. The biggest issue is when all of your warehouses are full. When your warehouses are all full, this means that once your, let's say, electronics buildings are full of electronics, they actually will not be building them anymore. So that is where the problems lie, is more about when the storages are full, rather than the idea that warehouses need to be placed all over the place. But like I said, you will notice that I have a couple of warehouses just all around the place. But that's mostly because that's where I was able to build them at that time. I'm not going to go through the hassle of destroying residential. I think destroying buildings is always bad in this game. And that reasoning is because nuggets take so long to build anything. So if you are going to destroy something, make sure that it's not currently doing something. If it's currently doing something, then I would say just to leave it. Like destroying fishing piers, that's whatever. I do that all the time, but that's because there's no more fish left in the lake. So there's nothing for that fishing pier left to do. But other than that, I think it's very important to keep buildings up. And that's also one reason why I'm also really glad that finally the fire brigades are kind of made throughout all of the history of the Nuggets, rather than just the modern age, because it was a very big hassle trying to cover already pre-established areas with the fire brigade, because you usually had to destroy buildings, and I hate doing that. And I guess, with the addition of the roads, you can make a claim that it does do something to build warehouses and stuff like that on roads. And I'm not going to argue with that, because I do think it does make a difference. There is a difference between a nugget being on the road versus not on the road. So I guess keep that in mind as well, but I think it's more important that a courier's hut is on the road, even though I know that the nuggets won't actually go to the courier's huts really ever. So maybe it actually doesn't really matter. But I think having them close to the road is always good. And I think that's really kind of it as far as tips and tricks go. I don't think there's really much else that is confusing about the game. I think there's just a lot of stuff that isn't really mentioned, or really mentioned in the game, that needs to be thought about. There we go. And I guess, the one thing as well, you can do this for all of your manufacturing buildings, is making specific warehouses for those buildings. That's totally fine. If you really want to go down into the micro economics of each building, then that's fine. I think that's just too tedious. I don't think it matters in the grand scheme of things, so it doesn't really matter too much. But I think I am going to try to trade away some stuff, though. We don't need glass. So this is another thing, you know, because theoretically we have so much stone, I'm just going to trade away 1,000 of it, because we have 1,000 stone, right? We've got basically 2,000 bricks. We don't need 1,000 more stone. So it's going to clear up a lot of the warehouse space. So that's kind of what I'm thinking about in that sense. All right, so let's go ahead and turn to the actual creation of satellites. So let's go ahead and pick our satellite type. So we've got the defense satellites, and that's about it right now. So still, we don't have any other types of satellites. This is one reason why I think it's actually kind of like a niche little thing for the satellites. I don't think it really matters that much, but we'll go ahead and make one anyway. All right, energy generation, we'll just make the best possible thing. And same with energy storage. Best available thing. Let's see here. Would probably actually... We'll go with this one. The nickel cadmium. Because lithium ion seems like it would actually hurt travel distance. Maybe not, though. No, it did. It did. Okay. We'll change that then. We'll go nickel. Okay. There we go. Fuel tank. Let's go ahead and go for the 5-year lifetime. And let's go 5 years on those as well. So there we go. And we'll also basically add on everybody that we can possibly add to the Cosmodrome, just to make sure that the build time, the production time, is as small as possible. So we're gonna need steel beams, electronics, chemicals, and fuel. All right, we'll call this the Nugget X-Wing 1. Start production. Okay, and then also through this we can then, you know, get the various materials that we need. So it was, let's see here, fuel, micro electronics, plastic? No, I don't think so. Chemicals, maybe glass. I don't know why I'm going in the steel. Okay, so steel as well. There we go. And so those 4 things will then start getting stacked up into this warehouse, which will be very nice for future launches, but it won't really be beneficial for this launch at all. The other thing is we need chemicals, so we actually need to start making some chemicals. And the question is where are we going to do that? Let's see. I'm thinking like over here. We'll make like 2 chemical plants. I think we should be able to fit 2 right here. I think. How are we doing on natural gas? 17. Fantastic on oil. Holy crap. Bricks are good. Everything's basically really good. The only thing that's really a shortage of is chemicals. So let's see here. Electronics we have. Steel beams we have. Glass we have. And cement we have. So beautiful. Alright, let's go ahead and get these lakes back up as well. So I guess this is another thing that I always fall victim to is there's got to be some sort of equation you can come up with to figure out how many pumps you need on each lake based off of its volume. I honestly have no clue. I just know. I do know though that however many pumps we have here is too many. And even this many pumps is too many. So it seems like it's a very small amount. But this is also something that I want them to change. I don't like the method that it is right now, where it's actually impossible to not to be like a creator that just sits back and watches what happens instead of having to fill the lakes myself. I really like the idea of the snow, once it melts, it fills the lakes back up a certain percentage. I think that would be really nice. But of course, I'm not a developer, so you know, I guess there's that. So the other thing is that I would really like to get rid of all of the Connect generators we have. I think that would be really nice too. So I think we'll go ahead and get rid of these. I think we might actually just be able to get rid of all of them right now with how much energy we're getting from the solar panels. Because solar panels are just so nice. I guess that's also another recommendation I have, to never go Connect generators. Connect generators are just terrible. Especially your first playthrough. Your first playthrough should never be Connect generators. I think that they just cause too many problems. Because you always have to think your nuggets are a resource too. So, you know, would you rather use your nuggets as power, or would you rather have them doing other tasks that are way more important? To me, I would much rather have my nuggets doing other tasks that are way more important, like building. So, or being engineers. Anything, honestly. Them having to run on treadmills or a ball or a wheel like hamsters is just awful. And me not being able to place a solar panel there is also awful. So I think I've also made an announcement about this as well, but I'm going to be doing a lot more streams now daily. I'm planning on, like, I don't know, at least I think I would like to do at least 3 streams a week, but they'll also be a little bit more random. They're also probably not going to be Universim either, so I guess if you guys really only watch me for the Universim, then you might not be interested in the streams. We will be doing Universim streams, but those things are going to be well in advance and planned. So that way I get the maximum amount of viewers for them, because it's honestly not that much fun streaming this when you don't really have a lot of people participating. But so I have no clue when that's going to be. I need to figure that out. It honestly might be a Friday. It might be a Friday someday. But I'm not going to make any announcements yet. Especially considering I have so much work to do on Fridays. I would really need to work ahead of time. So we're already all out of chemicals, so that's a little disappointing. How are these chemical plants going? Oh, they're actually already being built. So I guess this is another thing too. So when you're getting into the industrial phase, you need to be aware that all of your resources are going to basically be used up. You know, it's not going to be a guaranteed this building gets built really fast, because chances are it's going to need steel beams or something on the lines of that. And if you don't already have a ton of steel beams, then it's going to take forever. So keep that in mind. Always just think about what's going to happen if you know, your resources go down to 0. Because chances are it's not going to be fun. Or you could be like me and just not think about it and just keep building. I mean, it really doesn't matter. It's just going to make every single building that you try to build take longer to make. Alright, so our chemical plant is up now. Let's go ahead and assign all. Yeah, we have tons of stuff for all of this. So I guess one problem with a chemical plant is that it does require food. Now, in my situation, because we have 2,500 food, it's not an issue. But if you only have, if you have, like, food equal to your population and not greater than, then I would really advise only making one chemical plant, or maybe even none. Because chemical plants are deceivingly use a lot of food. So just keep that in mind, I suppose. But we'll definitely be fine with how much food we have. Moderate air quality. All right. We're gonna have to build some more parks then. We'll just build like a ton over here. We already have a couple. It's actually very difficult for us to, seems like get above 930 nuggets. I wonder what's going on. People are... I wonder if we have like some sort of water issue that I don't know about. No, we're definitely fine with water. Otherwise, just, so I guess that's another thing. If you just look at one well, it usually tells a pretty good story on how needy your civilization is of water. If you look at one well and you see that it's like absolutely drained, then that just means that you need more. And then, of course, if you look at your citizens and, you see all of them are thirsty, that's also a good indicator. I really want to try to get the band, though. Get the band back together. No, I'm just kidding. The band of solar panels, though. That's what I really want to try to do. I don't even know if we're still going in the right direction. Let's see here. Okay, so it's heading this way. Oh, shoot. Did we lose a building? What? What was that? Is that just like a residential building? Oh, that was a well. What the hell? What is going on over here? We've got like a small little civilization being built over here. Of like residential. That's weird. Let's go ahead and build a eatery then. Over here. And we'll also get a Corridor's hut. And I guess might as well get a warehouse too while we're at it. In fact, this area might not be a bad... no. Yeah, actually, this one might not be a bad area to get a... where is it? An airport. There we go. I know it's kind of funny because it's right next to another airport, but it's gonna fit. So that's what matters. It also, I mean, the only thing that we don't really have a lot of is steel, but we're getting steel back. It's just taking some time. We've used a lot of it. There's really not many things that we want to trade with now. I mean, unless we want to just get rid of some stuff. Oh, not food. Don't want to get rid of food. I think getting rid of food at any time is a bad idea. So don't do it. Once you get rid of some food, like a good amount of food, I swear you're just gonna go into a what's it called? I don't even know. You're just gonna run out of food. I guess that's what I'm saying. Oh, and I guess cemeteries. Cemeteries can be pretty tricky. The more cemeteries, the better. Especially later on when you have a lot of nuggets. But I don't know. I think the cemeteries that they have currently in the game do a pretty good job of keeping up with everything. Unless there's a massive tornado, for instance, or like something happens, like if a plague just starts, then you might be screwed. But like chances are you'll probably be fine. And the same kind of goes with hospitals too. Like hospitals aren't really needed unless you have constant problems. Residential collapsed. Dang, a lot of things are collapsing. I think it has to do with this little area we have out here. Let's go ahead and build some we're like really building into these exiles now. This is at the point when I wish that we could actually just fight them. Oh, and we've got an election. Let's go ahead and check that out. Alright, let's go for elderly assisted living. That's like the only good option there. Yeah, like I don't even need steel now. Oh, but the chemicals could be good. 60. We'll take the steel too. 43. And we'll just no, not food. Trade like a ton of wood. 500. There we go. Alright, so how is this going? Alright, we only need 40 more chemicals, so we definitely have that. So I guess another thing that we want to make, because we don't have it yet, is a clone center. So let's get that going. Oh, whoa. Did they change this building? This was not this big, and wow, it is causing a lot of problems. Holy crap, what the heck? Uh-oh. Wow, that was interesting. Let's see if we can cause that again. Oh yeah, look at that. Huh. Seems like it has to do with like a certain shade of the sun or something. I don't know. It's interesting. It's like, don't know. Very interesting though. But I'm going to go ahead and place it near the Cosmodrome because the Cosmodrome already needs chemicals. So that means that this warehouse over here is also going to be stored with chemicals. But we'll also probably get another warehouse going too that'll store some more chemicals too. Yeah, this is crazy. This is crazy that the clone center is so big now. We could actually, let's actually get multiple. Let's get like 2. Actually, was it always this big? I don't think so. This feels a lot bigger. Let's actually go for like 3. They're big, like they're tall. They don't take up a lot of space though. So you can kind of like place down a lot. So that'll be a good amount. We'll also like get a couple more chemical plants going too. So that way we can really build an army. All right, let's go ahead and celebrate that. Alright, chemical plants. There's like no roads out here too. Makes it really easy to build, because you don't have to worry about them. I know that you never have to worry about them, but you know, it's nice. It's nice having them. Alright, so 6 more chemical plants will definitely do the trick. Yeah, that should be fine. We'll just make some unkillable, what residential's doing terrible? Okay, it is over here. That's what I thought. Okay, we're gonna be, I mean, that engineering hut is basically up, so that's fine. Oh, and the airport's actually being made. That didn't take long at all. That's pretty nice. We're doing a lot of things all in the same episode here. How's our satellite doing, in fact? 13 minutes, it looks like. Oh, what? Make that 8 minutes now. So I guess one thing that we can do is we can just start looking around for boxes. Because legendary buildings would be cool to make. The only legendary building that we've made in any of these seasons, in fact, is the pyramids. So, you know. Alright, so the surface of box, yep, we already know that one. Desperate banging, okay, so that's going to be nuggets. The box's surface shimmers with an energy. That must be creator points or something on the lines of that, so let's go ahead and open it. Yeah, we got a lot of creator points from that. Okay, we got Eiffel Tower Blueprint Piece 4, so how are we doing on that one now? Eiffel Tower, we need 2 more pieces. Alright, it would be cool to build the Eiffel Tower, I think. And also now... all of our creator points are maxed out. That's pretty nice too. Okay, so we're not actually making any more stone. Yeah. We might want to look at placing like 1 more stone. Yeah, like over here, I guess. It's fine. It's not a lot, but it's something. Alright, all of our clone centers are being built. So we can start on the army pretty soon. I'm not sure why, but it seems like the extra engineers are like being deployed elsewhere, which is a little annoying. But that's okay. I'm really excited for when they add other sort of ships that we can make. I'm just actually excited to be able to go to another planet. I think that's going to be really cool. Whoa. Oh, they've just got a wildfire going on in here. Taking down the exile village. Oh, and it looks like the airport is up and running now. There it is. So yeah, I guess the idea here is that exiles that are from cities with good standings with you essentially will fly in and be like, I don't know, I guess have a chance of staying in your city or something along the lines of that. I'm not really sure. I've never also seen it happen. So I have no clue. A criminal vandalized residential. That's not very nice. I do find the planes to be a little annoying though in this game. I don't think they serve very much purpose. Alright, let's go ahead and make our patented blue nuggets here. And they've got to be undying as well, so lives forever unless killed by an external force or disease. Tends to sleep for longer than other nuggets Once infected, this nugget spreads diseases like wildfire. So that's really the only problem. There's also the one that's like... Wait a minute. Nugnorus. This nugget has extraordinary strength and agility. They can cut down a tree with a single swing and a mine any other resource at great speed. Can cause damage to nearby citizens while working due to their immense strength. Negative effects. Consumes large amounts of food. That one just actually doesn't seem like that good. Heavy lifter. That one would be fine too. Maintenator is good too. It just... Yeah, you know what? We'll actually just continuously make nuggets, I think, with Maintenator. So let's go Maintenator. I think it might actually be the best. Now, of course, clones need chemicals to be made. So there's that. The exact reason why I'm making so many chemical plants. If this doesn't really work out as intended, then maybe we'll go something else. But this might actually work out pretty well with the Maintenator. I think it does take a couple of generations, though, before you really notice on anything. So, we'll see what happens, though. Uh-oh. Infected zone. That's not good. Okay. We'll need to make sure to put up a cemetery over here. In fact, I will do that right now. To make sure nothing continues with that. It does cover a really good amount, so we'll put it there. And then I'm curious of how this is looking over here. Not bad, actually. Kind of makes me not even want to place one. But I feel like I should. Yeah, we'll go ahead and place one right there. Even though it's super close to everything. Alright, how is the satellite doing? Come on, 2 minutes. Alright, I want to do this before this episode ends. Come on. Nuggets, just keep working. I promise it will be worth it. One thing that I kind of wish is that you could just like kind of set the clone centers up to just automatically set them up and, you know, release them and stuff like that. But you yourself have to release them. This is actually close to being hazardous right next to the Cosmodrome. Just because of how much taller they are. So I do see that we have a tornado coming in 3 minutes, which is troublesome. Because, as you can imagine, all of the things that we've built could be in harm's way. Hopefully not, though. So I just remembered too, I need to disable everything from these except for chemicals. There we go. Ow. Oh. The satellite. Rocket launch in progress. 1 minute and 30 seconds. They must have changed this, right? This seems to be different. Oh man. Sadly, this is happening at the same exact time as the tornado. Hopefully the tornado is not anywhere close to us. Yikes. I think what I might have to do is pause the game to go find the tornado, and then we'll come back to watch the launch. That's gonna be what happens. Because yeah, the tornado's coming now a lot faster than this is happening. Whoa. Different things are happening down here though. Okay, let's go ahead and start playing it real slow now. Okay. Now we've got to go find this tornado. Where is the tornado? Hopefully it is nowhere. Oh. Okay, this is actually a really good spot for us. So let's just go ahead and contain it right there. Oh. Please. Okay. Pause the game. Pause the game. Okay, let's go see the Cosmodrome again. Where the heck is it? There it is. Okay, 8 seconds left. Here we go. Alright, ignition. Looks like we have liftoff now. It goes right through the arm. Don't worry about it though. It is going pretty slow. It is going very slow. Seems like they've really slowed down the speed. Maybe that's just because it's really not traveling that much faster. Look at it go, though. Oh, boosters have deployed. Hopefully that doesn't hit a nugget. I don't know where it went. Alright, come on. Come on, deploy, please. Oh! There it is. Our satellite. It's got 70 years to live. Now what happens to this thing? I think this just continues to drive off into space. I'm pretty sure, so for the time being at least. So let's go ahead and look at some other stuff. I see that we've got some infected zones going on, so I want to go ahead and check this out. See if this is taken care of. Oh yeah, it should be. What the hell? What is going on? Like how they're going to go pick up like freaking food and stuff next to a decomposing body. It's like nasty. It's really nasty. Alright, well, you guys, I think that's going to do it for this episode, so I hope you guys have enjoyed. I hope that the tips and tricks that I have for you guys were a little useful. If you guys have any questions and sorts, always ask them in the comments down below. I will try to reply to the comment as quickly as possible, and I will also bring it up in the next video, so that way if anybody else wants to know the answer to that question, then I can answer it there. But yeah, I'm also really glad to see that a lot of people are starting to play this game a lot more, just from my videos. That actually is really cool. I'm glad that I can show you guys this really cool game. So thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you guys did enjoy this game and video. If you guys have any comments, questions, concerns, anything of the sorts, then please do leave them in the comments down below. And as always, if you guys are brand new to the channel and you guys like what you saw, then please do go ahead and hit that subscribe button. And as always, I would like to thank my Patreons for supporting the channel. And if you would like to personally donate to the channel as well, then you can go ahead and check my Patreon link down in the description below. Thank you guys so much for watching. Have a fantastic day, and I will see you guys in the next episode.